Good evening. Ira Epstein. Here we are with your SPDR ETF stock market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for the evening, as we're here now on Thursday, December 18th, 2025. Well, my friends, we had the CPI numbers come out today, and there's been a lot of discrepancy talk during the day about them. And they came in lower than expected, and the problem was, no matter what they did in releasing them, I'm talking the Bureau of Labor Statistics, they were going to be under scrutiny. And the reason is we don't have October data. They made a decision not to go back and get that data for whatever reasons they had, and I'm sure they were good. And now you're comparing part of November, because got to remember when the shutdown ended and when the Bureau got back to work collecting the data, and September data. So you're missing part of it. So your real threshold is what happened between September and October. And now they've done that, and they've gone from November to September. So people are questioning, especially the housing numbers, how it could drop as much as it showed. And that makes up a big part of CPI. So just giving you part of the argument through there. But on its own, the market saw good gains in Goldman Sachs. Amazon was up, BND up a fraction. Energy prices down today. Eli Lilly, they're having really big success with the pills that they're looking at and the stages that they're at to get people maybe to start with the shots and then move on to the pills to maintain weight loss. Different ideas coming out right now. All the stock indices were up, and it depends what time of the day you were looking at them, because they were everywhere today. The markets that backed off a little were the gold market, the miners, and the silver market. In terms of data, the University of Michigan final December consumer sentiment indices will come out Friday morning at 9. Existing home sales for November coming out from the National Association of Realtors around 9. The Bank of Japan in the morning will announce their monetary policy. They are expected to raise interest rates by a quarter point, and that's to be the first time if they do it since, believe it or not, January. Can you believe that? And today's CPI numbers, as I said, came in lower than expected. On a final note, we saw the Bank of England today lower their interest rate, and we saw the European Central Bank sit still on their interest rate, all pretty much as expected at this point in time. So, one of the big themes is rotation now away from just AI stocks. And a stock that has been under the radar, not getting a lot of talk about it, has been Gap. And if you look back in October, this market had a break low, and from there, it literally has taken off to a new rally high as of yesterday and backing off a little bit today. The trend of the market is up as people are moving into these. You have higher lows, higher highs. So from my point of view, until 2610 is taken out, the uptrend is in place. The market looks to have support, to me at least, at 2667, the 18-day average of closes, which is right here. This is the 100-day, the 200-day. So I think the pros might be coming in and trying to support it there. Wouldn't surprise me if they had stops under 2610. As for the resistance of the market, you can see where it came in. It's the upper Bollinger Band. This is the Bollinger Band. That's the upper one. Markets, again, only trade outside of Bollinger Bands 5% of the time. So it makes sense that some profit taking took place there. And now coming back here would not be a surprise to me. And in terms of momentum, the market is no longer in overbought territory. So I'd be looking at this market and saying, okay, on breaks, will the pros step in? In Meta, you can see the market's moving back to the upside. We have higher lows, higher highs into the upper Bollinger Band. When we come to Goldman Sachs, yes, it's a bull market. Yes, it lost its bullish embedded reading back over here. Watch this. And until it re-embeds or gets rid of all this information here, in terms of getting momentum down further, you might be headed back to the 852.17 level before you go back to the 919.10 zone, the high that the market made. In Roku, still acts very good. Now the question is, it's overbought. Can it embed? So you have day one of embedding attempt there. You then lost it. You didn't keep it by getting to a 79 reading here. So you're in overbought territory in an uptrend. Don't know if the pros will chase it or not. In Netflix, you still have a bearish embedded reading. That is this number right here. Whenever you see these numbers going sideways under 20, that's bearish. You have the higher highs, higher lows on the swing line, but I still think the pros are using that to sell, if anything, in the market until the embedded reading is lost. Uber just can't get out of its own way, and it's not a pun on words, but look, it just keeps slipping back right here. The market 78.02, the lower band is the support zone. You are in oversold territory. Rivian, this is the highest since we began covering it. I have been telling my subscribers that, I like Rivian. I think it's going to be one of the winners. I like that they're opening up new service centers, and with other manufacturers getting out like Ford did of the EV game to a large degree, where they're going to move more to the hybrids. The Ford's taking a $19 billion hit to do all this. Well, that opens the door for Rivian. Now they've got to get that lower price model car out so they can get into that $40,000 range, and that could give them a real boost. In Joby, Joby's getting some nice write-up. It had a terrible, write-up about a week ago when one of the analysts, I think it was Citi, came out and they're calling it a $10 stock. They still might be right, but they're doing a lot of the right things. They're expanding their facilities, and we'll see if they can make a hit out of that. In XLF, which is your financial sector SPDR ETF, you can see that you've been in a bit of a correction. You've lost the bullish embedded reading down here, which tells me before prices get back up over the high right through here, don't be surprised if you make a run wherever the 18-day average is. It's currently 53.70. In the State Street Industrial Sector SPDR ETF, you came down to the objective yesterday, and I know I didn't put out an update yesterday. We had to finish my office where I could set up and work this way temporarily, and it'll be this way for a couple weeks, and then we'll get back to whatever the green screen work that we can do. First, I had to move into the office, and we had to get it working, and all day yesterday was that, and again most of today, and now we're there. In terms of the energy select sector, I'm just bearish on the energies at this point. I don't see what's to be bullish about. I still see supply as the issue. I know that we've seen the Trump administration is going to withhold basically Venezuela from being able to ship their oil. And the game plan is that it can be made up out of Venezuelan oil if Maduro steps away from power, or other members can make it up as the chokehold goes on the Maduro regime. And that is exactly what it is. While China doesn't like it, and they've been vocal about it because they're the big buyer at a discount of Venezuelan oil, I don't think they're ready to step in with their naval fleet and challenge the U.S. over this move. We're not impacting China that way. They can buy it elsewhere. Russia specifically. Higher lows, higher highs. You can see what's going on through here. And the market and the gold market still friendly and embedded. So do I think the play is over on gold? Absolutely not. Until you lose that embedded reading, I don't think so. Palantir, notice how the stock has been in a basic drifting mode. It lost its bullish embedded reading. Follow me right here. And this was again yesterday. And it doesn't really have to go much lower. It made its run for all purposes to the 18-day average. So it's not one of those that I'm looking for a dramatic shift down. Now, Microsoft today got a bounce. And, Micron, as you know, the memory maker of chips, saw a dramatic rally take place. And for whatever reason, Microsoft decided to join in on that and end the selling spree. And yes, that's what it is. So until you get back under this low, I would call this break-in at probably the end. That doesn't mean it's necessarily going to run to the upside. It's been disappointing since the end of October. It's had a break, and I've pointed that out to you on a regular basis, but I now think you're at a point where it gets interesting. In the bonds and notes, you're getting a bounce in a market that keeps fighting at the 100-day average. Today, it slipped back from it on the news of the CPI, but that's not the case for the dollar that moved up. And in the dollar, if we take a look, did it ever develop UUP, the embedded reading? Well, if we step over here, not there, but day 1, 2, and 3. So you had your bearish embedded reading. You lost that reading yesterday, not today, but yesterday. So before prices get under here, I wouldn't be surprised you get up to the 2809 level. And in FXC, you lost a bullish reading, and you can see how the market is now shrinking back in this market, trying to come down a little bit. And that little bit just might take it back to the 107.58 level before it gets back up here. So we'll see if the market can do anything. Now, I want to remind you that we have our free offers at this point in time, and you get to choose from a number of things that you may want. It can be our QT Market Center charting software. I think you'll find it phenomenal. Voice recordings come through it. You get all the written information from QT. Our futures trading kit you might want to take a look at has a lot for the first-time trader and the person that wants a refresher. Our daily price counts, one of the most important tools I think you'll run into, and you can't get it elsewhere. It's unique to us. And once a trend gets going, it gives you ideas where it might be headed. In that it's not about buy here or sell there. It's about where the market might be headed. My pivot point video series, the Arun indicator series, all this is there. All you need to do is go to iraepstein.com, free offers. You can call my staff as well. And the other thing that you can always take advantage of is at the bottom of this page, it'll give you an area as you come to the bottom of it. You fill in after you click on the offer that you want, what you want, where you want it to go by giving us your email address, and everything is sent to you. You can see how that'll come out right through here. With that, I'm Ira Epstein. You have yourself a good evening, and I will catch up with you all in the other videos tonight or in the first thing in the morning.